Good evening and welcome to Mass Insight's 2021 Partners in Excellence event. I'm Sue Lucy, President and CEO of Mass Insight. This year, because of our virtual environment, we are holding Partners in Excellence over 4 evenings. This is the first focusing on math. It has been my privilege to open these events for the past 6 years, and it is always my favorite. Extraordinary learning results from extraordinary teachers, and we are honoring 5 of them tonight. Thank you to our amazing winners for helping their students succeed this year under extremely challenging circumstances. We look forward to hearing from each of you in just a few minutes. Thank you to our leadership sponsors, K&L Gates and State Street Corporation. And a very special thank you to our Managing Director of the Advanced Placement STEM and English program, Sally Guadagno, as well as all of those who made this event possible. And now, a few words from our board chair, Dick Taggart.
Thank you, Sue. On behalf of my colleagues at Mass Insight Board of Directors, I want to welcome you to our virtual Partners in Excellence Awards presentation. I am sorry we can't be together in person again this year. Our annual Partners in Excellence Awards program is always a very special night of celebration for friends, teachers, and supporters of Mass Insight. What makes Partners in Excellence so special? It is one of the few events around that recognizes and celebrates excellence in advanced placement teaching. The Mass Insight Board is proud to be able to support tonight's program. The work of the AP math teachers we are honored tonight culminates in measurably better and more equitable outcomes for students. More students, especially students of color and low-income students, are succeeding in high school and college because of the extraordinary work you and your colleagues do every day. You've had to respond to unprecedented conditions since March 2020, when the world was brought to a sudden halt because of COVID-19. Within a week, the global health crisis transformed how we teach students, how we support students, and how we prepare them for AP exams and college. I want to thank you for helping your students overcome the challenges and barriers brought on by the sudden and unexpected shift to virtual learning at home. You provided the stability, support, and encouragement to help them overcome their fears and worries about succeeding in challenging AP courses. As a result, you are helping to close the equity gap in AP education. It is now my pleasure to introduce Sally Guadagno, Managing Director of Advanced Placement, for our Partners in Excellence Award presentation.
Well, thank you, Dick. It's now my pleasure to introduce the 2021 Partners in Excellence Math Award recipients. And these folks are Linda Grimshaw, AP Calculus, Leicester High School. Emily Siegfried, AP Calculus, Haverhill High School. Jose Borges, AP Computer Science, John D. O'Brien School of Math and Science in Boston. Dan Orsolak, AP Statistics, Ware High School. Sigismund Shelby Sharp, AP Statistics, Springfield Central High School. And welcome to all of you. On behalf of all of us at Mass Insight, I want to congratulate you on your success. As many of you know, the goal of the Mass Insight AP STEM and English program is to increase participation and performance in advanced placement courses to prepare students for college and career success in both English and STEM fields. Each year, we award exemplary teachers who help us meet these goals in their classrooms as Partners in Excellence. We're delighted to honor your professionalism, your perseverance, and your commitment to your students this year and every year, especially this year, as all of us had to face challenges posed by the pandemic. And you guys have done it in new and creative ways. Congratulations again on these achievements, and congratulations to your students for their successes as well. Now, I have some questions. We'd love to hear from you about your teaching and about your feelings about your students and your influences. So my questions are, what inspires you, and how have you brought this inspiration into your classroom? And if you could speak to all of you students, past, present, and future, what hopes do you have for them?
Well, I have quite a list of things, and I've had to write it down because I'm inspired by a lot of things. I'm inspired, one, by my parents who raised 6 kids and they survived that. um, my mother, her nurturing personality inspires me. She's so kind and thoughtful. I always look to harness her pleasant disposition as I go through my day, especially in school, but out of school as well. Um, I'm inspired by my father's work ethic and his problem solving skills. By day, my dad was a physicist. He had to solve problems. He worked with lenses and then later on with lasers. By night, my dad had to come home and figure out whatever it is he needed to be that night. It could have been a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter, a gardener. Um, he was a man with many hats. It was rare that he had any time to himself, and he worked through it. Um, Sometimes working harder is smarter, and that is what I bring to my classroom. I'm inspired by little things like the smile of a struggling student when they show improvement, the laughter heard in the hallway as students pass, um, raising of hands in my classroom to share a thought. Uh, this gives me great energy and drive, so I do my best or the best that I can in my classroom. Um, it's all of these things, and there's many more things that motivate me to teach. Too many to list. I don't think you guys want to stay up all night listening to me. Um, if I could give my students some words of advice, or what are my hopes? They're kind of brief. I hope that they take risks and challenge themselves. I hope they always are curious, that they travel and learn the world around them. I hope they continue to grow and evolve. I think we all do that through our stages in life. That they take a moment to think beyond themselves, to open a door for someone, to say thank you, to be appreciative of the people in their lives, and to appreciate what they have. So that's kind of where I stand, and that's what I bring to my room every day.
What inspired me and how I bring my inspiration to the classroom. I was originally from Cape Verde Islands, which is development country. I always been involved in teaching, and then I will say then I immigrated to the United States in 1985. I worked in the private industry at first, and then I made a career change in my 30s. So the reason why I became a teacher is a raise of the, I will say, a raise of the option and questions why I became a teacher. First thing, teaching in a large urban school district like Boston, inspiration and a positive mindset are essential to facilitating student success. I made a career change, like I said, in my 30s. At the time, my older daughter was in elementary school, and I was struck by the fact that there were so few educators of color, especially of computer science and STEM. This experience inspired me to instill in my students an understanding of the critical importance of technology in our knowledge based economy. This is the goal that drives my teaching and forms the basis of my instructional practice. Um, so, if I could speak to all of my students, past, present, and future, what hope that I have for them, I would like I would like to tell my students that setbacks are part of life, and that is why a positive mindset is so important to survive in this world. I would like also emphasize the importance of education as a means of advancing and climbing the ladder, economic ladder. Not only that, but as an immigrant myself, I can relate to my students' struggle because I have had to deal with adversity myself. I was raised to work hard and value education, and those precepts have always guided my action. Nothing in life was ever handed to me. I had to work for it. So, my hope that all of my students internalize these values and are aware of the fact that Blacks, Hispanic, and female students are underrepresented in the field of computer science and STEM. Therefore, I encourage them to take chance and take AP course in these subjects. Resilience and determination are the key components to success. That's what I would tell all my students. And I have students that graduate from high school. They took my class, the AP class. They pursue career in computer science, and I tracked them down, and they're doing well. And that was a good decision that they told me they did. Now, most of these kids, I relate to them. I see them like, beside being a teacher, we wear many hats. We can be their parent, we can be their counselor, we can be their friend, and make sure you create an environment that will make them comfortable to be in the environment and to learn and to proceed to the post-secondary education after high school. That's all I will instill to my students, and that's it for me.
Well, I'm fortunate to come from a family of teachers. My parents were both teachers. My wife as a teacher as well as my siblings, and they're all outstanding at what they do, and that inspires me to go in every day and do my best. People who are successful, no matter the circumstance, are also very inspiring to me. I tell my students that we're not here to make excuses. We're here to handle the challenges that we're given, and everyone comes to the table with a different set of challenges, and to develop that mental toughness. I like to share the successes of my former students with my current students, because I've had some students that I'm, number one, very proud of, but number two, who I admire for how they've persevered through their circumstances to achieve success in their lives. If I could speak to all of my students, I would try to impress upon them that anything is possible with the tireless work ethic and the desire to succeed. And also to never forget where you come from. Times will get tough. They do for all of us. And I want them to know that they can always count on me for any support during those tough times. Sometimes it might be a pat in the back. Sometimes it might be a kick in the pants to get them back going in the right direction. And as for my hopes, I hope my students will pursue things that they're passionate about, whether that be in their personal life or their professional life. And when they do that, to put everything they have into it. And I also hope they will take the time to become a volunteer in the community that they live in, and to kind of give back to the people who have given so much to them.
I think the thing that inspires me the most to be a teacher and to try and create in my own classroom are some of the teachers that I've had in the past. Some of the hardest courses that I've taken, I've loved. I've wanted to go to every day. I've been excited about, and it's just because of the way that the teacher structured the class, and it's the enthusiasm that they had, the way that they applied it to real life, the way that they made it seem fun, even though it was very difficult. So I try and bring that into my own classroom. I try and stay positive every day, of course, and I'm very nerdy and enthusiastic about the subjects that I teach. So I like to, like I said, try and make things fun, and I'm trying to channel those teachers that I had in the past that really made me want to be a teacher, and really made me interested in the subject because of how enthusiastic and excited they were about it. And then something that I would like to say to all my students, or the hope that I have for them, is that they never settle. I want them to find something that they are truly passionate about and something that they love doing, and then go for it. I went to school for 3 years for something completely different than what I do right now. And I was thinking about just continuing because I had invested so much time in it, and I knew it wasn't going to be something that I loved. So I changed courses, and it took me longer than I had hoped. But now I love what I do. Every day I'm excited to go there. I'm excited to see their faces. I'm excited to be enthusiastic about the subject. So I want to make sure that they do that as well. Like, don't follow a path that you're not passionate about. Go for what you really want, and never settle. I also hope that they continue to be lifelong learners. I want them to constantly be asking questions. And there's an abundant amount of things to learn in life. Just keep learning, just keep asking questions, just keep that enthusiasm for education throughout their entire life. That's really it.
So what inspired me is twofold. One is my family, starting with my mom. She has been through so many adverse situations, but yes, still she still continued. She was going to school late into her 40s just to achieve some of our goals, even after we went to college. So she got her first bachelor's degree in her 50s. So that's something that has always been inspiring, the way she works. And then just talking about my family, my immediate family, my kids, my wife, my mother-in-laws, and my sister. They have always expected better from me, so that have always kept me going. And then what inspired me about just going into work every day is that I have the ability to affect a student every single day, regardless of their academic ability or background. In my class, I hope that every student, regardless what they come in with, feel that they could achieve success. Even when they're having a bad day, they could bounce back and achieve success. Because what I must say is that I grew up with a motto from my high school: Fortis Scalare Cedere non potest. The brave may fall but never yield. Just simply mean that no matter how much you're down, you always get up and fight. And I try to tell my kids that, hey, no matter what's going on, you have to keep on pressing along. So that's one of the things that really inspire me. So I know that I'm bringing a unique experience to the kids. As Jose said, I'm a male, I'm international, and also I'm highly educated. Most kids are always surprised when I tell them I have a PhD and I'm going back to school. So that always gets them to say, okay, he could do it. I probably could try too. So that's always a good thing. And then the other thing I try to tell kids that, hey, every day is a new day, irrespective of what went on before, yesterday, a week ago. If we had a bad day, let's just make it a new day. That's something I've always tried to instill in my classes. So with that being said, the thing that if I was to see any one of my students now, is that I would love to know that they don't have to be great every day. They just have to be better than they were yesterday as they move forward. And it's okay for them. It's okay to fail. Just don't let that failure define them. They have to just keep on rebounding. So that's a couple of the things that I expect them to be able to do. And then the last and most important thing that I instill in my class, and I hope they take it away with them, is that being in the inner city, we're unique in that we have a blend of cultures, ethnic backgrounds, all that. And we're able to joke on a daily basis every day. So one of the things I always tell them, we are all born with prejudice, but we cannot make that prejudice define how we treat other people. We can't let our prejudice allow us to discriminate. So I hope they take that into their future life, and despite their prejudice that they might have been born with or socialized with, they're able to accept everybody for who they are, and they give everybody a fair chance. And hopefully they will get a fair chance as we all move forward.
Thanks so much. All of your words of advice are certainly inspiring. We're delighted to congratulate you on this award and to recognize your students as well. Just keep up the good work. And again, congratulations from Mass Insight. Now I will turn this back over to Sue Lucy for some closing remarks.
Thank you again for all you do on behalf of your students. A special thank you to all of our partners and excellent sponsors without whom this event would not be possible. Make sure you join us again on March 25th for our culminating night, where we will have our keynote interview with Kimberly Ellison Taylor of Oracle, who will share her inspiring story and message of improbable doesn't mean impossible. We will also present 4 special awards to members of our community who are helping to make a difference for students, teachers, and schools. Congratulations again, thank you, and good night.